I love that GIF. I saw it on E's post. E from the Light School, he did a tweet the other day, and I'll put a link in the description where I got it, but I love that GIF. And I thought I'd give you a little taste of the new office studio I've been working on. It's not done yet, but trying to go for a little bit of a new look here and just having some fun with it. What's up, everyone? It's Dan here, May 20th, 2018, Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by. In this video, I thought it would be a little different to start by giving some perspective on the market, especially long-term, especially in regards to patterns and the data that we have. And I guess why I do these videos. I do get comments where people are just like, nobody knows, these patterns are stupid, following this is stupid, it's a waste of time. However, I agree to an extent. Nobody does know. However, the movement of Litecoin and the evidence that we have from historical past is important in anticipating what might happen next, especially if a trend is to continue. And that's why I do what I do. So I thought it would be fun to really zoom out on the charts, and we can go right to the weekly right now. And so what I did for reference, I took kind of where we are, because I use momentum oscillators a lot, as you know. I took where we are right now on this momentum oscillator, stock RSI. And then I went back to last February. And what I did was I said, all right, last February, we were around the same spot. Market's just doing its thing. Actually, you can even say, let's see, January 1st, you can see on the screen, Litecoin down a little bit, right? From $5, almost $6, down to like $4. The market might have been a little depressed about that. And so all of a sudden, you see what happened. You can see the movement, obviously, on the stock RSI, but you can see the movement in the week of March 27th to basically a month later, April, the end of April and beginning of May. So in that month, Litecoin decided to go up to 36 or, almost $40 or so for just say 800% gains. Just like that. And, nobody was expecting that to happen. However, it happened. And so even the market may have been in a depressed state because it was down a little bit, and everybody's like, I wonder if Litecoin's ever going to move. Well, there it moved, and it was the beginning of a very long-term movement, and it kept making these massive moves after consolidation. Similar consolidation that it had back there in that December, January, February area. So we can use that for context to say we don't know when it's just going to break out. And I tweeted that yesterday. When Litecoin decides to break out, it most likely will have nothing to do with news. So, and I find it interesting. We're on the same part of the stock RSI. So could we have a similar type of momentum breakout where we're just like, kind of going crazy? Of course. But I also want to keep in mind that we can have a similar breakdown, and that's something to always prepare for. And we never want to get ahead of ourselves and always anticipate a move up. Even though we are in this long-term upward trend that we hope continues. So for a little bit deeper perspective on this kind of situation and where the market's head at is right now, is we can go to the daily and we can look at different time frames. And we can kind of help tell this story of not only consolidation, but also market knowledge, meaning nobody can predict really a breakout. So we can go to consensus last year because it's a big topic of conversation this last week. Everybody seemed to be expecting just a really bullish market because of consensus, because apparently that's happened in recent years. Perhaps consensus created a foundation for a move up, but that week of consensus last year, the 3 days after, we were down 47%. This is in Litecoin, and that's one piece of reference we can use to say that, all right, we were down 47%. We still needed some consolidation before this continued uptrend. And you compare that to this week consensus, everybody's not everybody, I should stop saying that, but a lot of people are a little depressed because they didn't get a breakout from consensus. But I want to remind you we didn't last year either. And then another thing I want to touch base on was you can see this. So this last large triangle that we used for reference before a massive breakout back in November and December in Litecoin, you can see right before that breakout, again, we were down 17% in, this week. And then all of a sudden we just started moving up. again, another time when market may have been depressed as it is now, and nobody was expecting this move up. Look how often this happens. A depressed market, a lot of naysayers coming out of the woodwork. And now I just want to put this into reference, and I want to bring it all back together to where we are right now. Again, a depressed market. We're down 28%, in May, basically since May 5th or so. And we bounce off that 180. We're down 28%, kind of a depressed market. Similarly, we're at the top of this support area. We're at this triangle, and nobody knows what's going to happen. So, I mean, if that's evidence that we have, right? That's data that we have. So it's truly a possibility to anticipate a breakout. And, I'll throw this in the mix for fun. I did tweet that tweet I had that if we held on the top of the triangle, we had support, that we'd see a retest of 180 in the next 5 to 7 days. And over the next day, we did see support. I did a live stream on Thursday night. You might have been there. So, we were literally right here at the, we were like 130 when I was doing the live stream, 129. I was like, this is it. We have to stay here at support in order for, what I said to even have a remote possibility of happening. And since then, we're actually up to 140 now, but let's see, when did I do that stream? That was like right around here. I was like, we can't go any lower. So really my little call, and this is completely for fun, is by, I guess, Thursday is to retest 180. So let's just see what happens. But I thought it would be really cool and interesting to look at the markets in the past and how often, almost all the time, breakouts occurred when nobody expected it, and also when the market seemed to be down and sentiment seemed to be kind of depressed. So a couple things, and then I'll wrap up this video. Number one, I want to point out on the stock RSI, we are oversold. So I think Litecoin's looking healthy right now with the support still at the top of this triangle. And again, even more so, I talk about this 40 line on the RSI a lot as a very important, strong, critical point of support. So you can see we kind of bounced a little bit close to it the other day. And then again, we bounced, when was that? That was 2 days ago. We bounced off of 40, like almost exactly. So I like that. Litecoin looks to have some support. So let's see what happens this week. It'll be very interesting to see. And then lastly, I want to point out real quick, I thought this would be interesting to throw on the chart. You see the lines on the daily chart right now. You see these red lines. This isn't really in play for me right now, but this is a bearish anticipation. This is a be ready for anything. Everybody wants to go to the moon, but always important. And every time I look at the chart, I basically see this channel, and I don't have the lines there. I just see it. I'm always prepared for it. And I thought it would be interesting to put it on the screen so all you could be prepared as well. Because if we do enter a bearish market, that's the channel we're going to be talking about. Right there, that red channel that you see, top of the channel, bottom of the channel. That would really come into play if we break this line right around 110 to the 100 area. So right now it's just a blank piece of paper, and I don't know, maybe one day Litecoin will decide to start writing on that paper and telling that story, but hopefully not. But I thought I would put it on the screen so that you can anticipate it as well. It's very important. And it keeps you accountable not to spend more money than you can afford to lose in this market. So those are my thoughts for today. I thought it would be an interesting way to start off the week. I hope you all had a good weekend. And as always, I appreciate you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the channel. And I will see you in the next video. God bless.